Morning, Ben, and congratulations again on another suspenseful win. And welcome to ESPN 1000 with Ben Johnson, Jeff Joniak. They don't feel different. The win feels great. Are you having fun, Ben?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I love coming to work every day, so that's what's most important to me.
More men stepped in and stepped up. That's kind
That's
of the
right.
headline, isn't it?
Yeah, no question about it. I think it happens in most team seasons that at some point you're going to have some attrition, and something we've been talking about since camp ended was it doesn't matter where you are on the roster or what it looks like to start the season. Your number's likely to get called upon at some point, and we're going to need to step to the plate. And so a number of guys did that this week.
Even a guy a few Bears fans probably even heard of, Nikola Kalinic. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I met him right before the season ended. Delightful young man from Canada. Gets busy on special teams. He was chewing the fat with some of those guys too. He
He
looks like
he
he's got
showed
an edge
up.
to him.
He absolutely did. Yeah, it was fun to see. You never know how many opportunities you're going to get to make an impact, and so this was his. And we knew what type of game it was going to be too. We knew it was going to be chippy. They have a number of guys. Pittsburgh does that. They like to run their mouths a little bit. Well, so do we, and so we didn't want to cross the line. We wanted to toe that line, and I think he's one of those guys that knew exactly where that line was and was trying to get a couple flags there yesterday.
What are you seeing in this team right now that excites you? Aside from the obvious, the team is winning. You guys are finding ways to win, but is there anything even deeper than that?
Well, I think what I always look at is the course of the week, and for a team that maybe hasn't won a ton over the past few years, just where their minds are at. Yeah, I talked to the staff the night before the game, and just we need to maintain neutral. Keep our guys from getting too high or too low. Certainly during the course of the game, but I mean where we are in the season as well, and so that's a huge part of what we've been preaching, and we come back in on a Wednesday and we start from scratch again, and our bodies don't feel right, and we're tired, and mentally, physically, emotionally, all of it, and yet you still got to put in the work. And so our guys have done a great job of that so far. This will be another week where it's a huge challenge. We haven't had a short week like this quite yet, and not a 5 day span at least. And so we're going to have to make sure that we're forging ahead, and not allowing the circumstances where we are in the season to dictate anything to us. We got to maintain control and focus.
Can you even notice or reflect on what you saw when you first gathered these guys together many, many, many months ago? Just the way they carry themselves now, even a confidence about them that maybe you didn't see right away.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about a lack of confidence or anything like that. I think we have a number of guys in that locker room that they know what good football looks like, and they were yearning for it. They wanted to bring that here to Chicago, and so whether they were here last year or some guys that we brought into the building, no, I think it's really worked out well. We've got, it's not necessarily when you're looking to bring in players and acquire players, it's not always you're trying to just bring in the most talented guys. You're trying to bring in the guys that are the right fit, and I think we've done that. We've got a lot of high character guys, and you feel as these wins come, you feel that confidence continue to grow and ascend. I think that's a credit to the coaching staff. They've done a phenomenal job being consistent throughout the whole process of what the expectations are, and holding our guys accountable. And yeah, I think really a big credit to our leadership group too. They've probably got 10 or 12 guys that I lean heavily on just to keep the pulse of the team, and keep us focused on the big picture. And so it's been good so far, but it's also, we got 6 more games that we're guaranteed right now, and we got to capitalize on the opportunity at hand right now.
Ben Johnson with us on ESPN Chicago. Jeff Joniak here as we break down the win, eighth win for the Chicago Bears. You mentioned neutral. You're neutral throughout the whole game, it appears, and then that locker room celebration, that's all gas, no brakes. That's fun to see everybody like that, including yourself.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I mentioned before, you put so much in over the course of the week, you sacrifice so much time, so much effort. You take away from your relationships outside of the building, whether it's family or friends. And so to see it pay off with a victory, I there's not another feeling like that. And as ugly as some of these wins have been, it's still it just never fails just how powerful a moment that is after a victory.
No beauty contest, Ben.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's
No beauty
right.
contest. All right, let's get your tape review on Caleb Williams and the offense.
Yeah, I thought 31 points was really well done. We did a number of things really well. I thought our pass protection stood out to me up front. Those guys did a great job. I got a lot of respect for that Pittsburgh defensive front and how well they can get after the passer. Um, and so for a guy like Ozzie to step to the forefront, and I thought he played a really solid ball game. I thought that was outstanding. We needed that. I was hopeful we could run the ball a little bit better, and we did, but they certainly, you could tell they made it a point of emphasis to shut down our run game. And so, um, fortunately, our pass game was able to find some success there, get the ball to some of our playmakers in space, and they did a number of good things with it. Yeah, I thought the points before halftime, that was huge for us and giving us a little momentum going into the locker room, and then coming out of halftime, scoring that touchdown after the defensive stop. That was massive for us as well. I would still like to see us finish that game stronger on offense. I thought we had two possessions there in the fourth quarter where we could really seal the game and finish the game with the football, and we fell short there. But fortunately, our defense was able to complement us and get the job done themselves. So still a lot of room for improvement there, Jeff. We kind of been saying it all year long, but did enough to win that ball game there yesterday.
All right, let's flip it over to defense and Dennis Allen working with I'm not even going to call them backups. I know it says so on a depth chart, but when a guy gets a green light, and I read about the preparation, for example, of DeMarco Jackson. He's got a 6 month old, turning 6 months old today, apparently. Met her. I interviewed her after the game. She was delightful. Um, just the grin on his face, the smile, and what he accomplished in his first NFL start with the tackles and all that, but just the preparation he took under his wing. He got up early and earlier and earlier every morning, looked in the mirror, and was yelling out the plays. He knew he was going to be the green dot in this game. So that's called professionalism right there.
No question, no question. And I think as an individual, you always want to put your best foot forward, but you got a responsibility to the guys around you as well. And so I think D-Jack really exemplifies that. He knows how important it is. We got a good thing going right now, and you certainly don't want to let down your teammates. No matter the circumstance. And so I thought he did a phenomenal job. Kind of talked about it last night a little bit. Ruben, we're hoping that he was going to be able to play Will Force, got dinged up there, and Amon comes in and plays a phenomenal game himself. Tyreek gets hurt, and then McLeod's out there. And so it was just over and over and over again, just guys that you probably weren't expecting to play a whole lot, maybe to start the season, and they're coming up for us big here down the stretch. And so we're going to need more of that mentality here going forward the rest of the season. I thought Dennis called a phenomenal game. He kept those guys right where we needed to be, and you look at that run game, and they're having some success on the ground, and yet we really only gave up 21 points on defense.
Right.
The other seven was what we did on offense. And so against a good team like that likes to be physical, that likes to run the football, I thought that was a really good job.
So it's hard to keep the genie in the bottle, at least on the outside looking in. This is going to be a major, major showdown from a global perspective. 8-3 Bears, 8-3 Eagles, defending Super Bowl champs on their turf. Sneak peek at what we're facing here with Jalen Hurts and the fellas, and Vic Fangio on the other side calling those defensive plays.
Yeah, this will be a new one for me. My first game as a coordinator was actually against Philly, and came up pretty short on that one. So this will be just 4 years later. I think I've grown as a play caller myself. This would be the first time I've gone against Vic Fangio, and a ton of respect for him and the career that he's had, and obviously he's had that defense humming since he got there last year, and so we're going to have a tall task at hand. I mean, there's a reason why they won the Super Bowl a year ago. There's a reason why they're 8-3 right now, and leading their division. This is really sound football team. They believe in building up front, and so their offensive line and their defensive line, they lead the way, they lead the charge for them, and yet they're still really talented on the perimeter as well. I think Howie Roseman's done a phenomenal job of building that roster out. There are really very few holes. It's really a talented team from top to bottom, and so we're going to have to be at our best to beat this team. You take Friday, Black Friday, you take all that out of it. I mean, this is a big game because it's the next game, Jeff. It's the next one. They're all big ones at this point of the season and in the season that we've had. And so I think our guys, like I said, it'll be a little bit different story. We haven't had a short week like this yet, and all about mentally making sure we're in the right frame of mind and we have the game plan down and physically trying to be as recovered as we possibly can be, knowing that we still got to play this game. We might be only at 90%.
Hmm.
So I think our guys are going to respond to that challenge.
All right. Good luck with your prep on this short week. Appreciate you.
Yep. Thank you, Jeff.
For Ben Johnson, I'm Jeff Joniak here on ESPN Chicago.